Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're going to talk about Rocksteady, Arkham Studios, Sweet Baby Inc., and of course Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So let's cue up the music, and we'll get right to it. So, last 2 years have seen a lot of layoffs in the industry. We're talking tens of thousands of developers losing their jobs on all different levels, from the bottom on up towards the top. Rocksteady suffers more layoffs as Arkham Studio continues to feel the results of Sweet Baby Inc. infected Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, if y'all remember correctly, this game lost Warner Studios, $200 million roughly? Ouch. This is after, the year after, what was it, the Harry Potter game? Earned them hundreds of millions of dollars. So this is bad, Fortunately, they made money on one hand, but then they didn't make money on the next hand. And this is not what companies like to do. They don't like to lose money. This was a game that was infected with a lot of DEI type nonsense. You saw it in the advertising with all the purple and all that. And the more I'm watching this, looking at this kind of stuff and seeing it, the more I'm seeing that color purple, the more I'm seeing it is it's a warning. It's a warning sign that the game is going to be trash. If you see it, it's going to be trash. Keep your eyes open for it. Anyway, Rocksteady Studios, once heralded as the visionary developer behind the Batman Arkham series, has suffered yet another blow in its decline, with reports of end-of-year layoffs in 2024 caused by its Sweet Baby Inc. infected failed live service co-op shooter, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. A lot of people, myself included, say there's not much room in the industry for live service games, and there quite honestly isn't. But there's room for good ones. If good ones come out there, they're going to take down some of the existing ones, but they got to be good. They got to have something special to them. And Marvel Rivals is proving that right now, that the Marvel, what is it, a 5v5, I think it is? Anyway, yeah, that game's doing some busted numbers right now with tons of people playing it, and they're loving it. You know what? It's not infected with all this garbage. The characters look great. They don't look like Mrs. Freeze here. They don't have gender-swapped characters. They don't have any of that garbage in it. Sources revealed that members of the programming, art, and QA teams were affected, marking the studio's second round of redundancies in just a few months. In September, the QA team was slashed nearly in half, from 33 members to just 15, leaving many employees blindsided. This included one worker who discovered he'd lost his job during paternity leave. He lost his job. Okay. The trigger for this collapse, the disastrous release of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Warner Brothers reportedly lost a staggering $200 million in a game, which failed to gain traction with players despite years of anticipation. By December, Rocksteady confirmed it would cease producing new content for the game in 2025. Those servers would remain online for now. But with low player numbers and poor reception, it's clear that the damage has been done. The studio's future remains uncertain, with Warner Brothers staying silent on the latest layoffs. Incidentally, PlayStation gave us this game for free with PlayStation Plus this month. Thanks, PlayStation. Great gift. Woohoo. I almost want to plug it in and give it a try just to see how horrible it is, but I don't even want to add to their numbers one extra player just to test it out. Adding fuel to the fire is the involvement of Sweet Baby Inc., a narrative design firm specializing in DEI initiatives contracted for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. SBI was heavily involved in the game's development, so much so that it had an entire section of Kill the Justice League's credit dedicated to the team. While Rocksteady crumbles, SBI appears to be thriving. According to YouTube personality Master of the TDS, SBI has suffered no layoffs and boasts as many as 30 active game projects. This stark contrast raises questions about SBI's roles in the game's failure and whether its business practices contribute to the industry's woes. Sweet Baby Inc., the narrative consultancy firm co-founded by Kim Belair, has garnered a troubling reputation for leaving its partners' studios in turmoil. Here's the thing. These guys get paid no matter what. They go in, and, they're mercenaries. They go in, they do their job that they're hired for. They infect the game with their woke mind virus, so to speak, for want of a better term there. They make the characters worse. They make the game worse with the DEI influences that they put in these games, and they collect their paycheck and they leave, right? So when the game releases, they're not paid on whether or not the game sells well or how it does. They're paid ahead of time. So they're going to thrive no matter what. Meanwhile, the companies that they work with, if they don't sell, well, that's on them. Anyway, for instance, Avalanche Studios Group, another SBI client, announced massive layoffs in summer 2024, cutting nearly 10% of its workforce and shutting down its offices in both New York and Montreal. Similarly, Reflector Entertainment and Heart Machine, both SBI collaborators, faced steep staff reductions after launching projects that failed to meet expectations. Critics will argue that SBI's involvement often leads to bloated narrative designs focused on DEI and virtue signaling that fail to connect with players. This leaves developers holding the bag for underwhelming releases. In the case of Rocksteady, the once pristine reputation of the Arkham series has been tarnished, while SBI walks away unscathed. Rocksteady's fall from grace is a cautionary tale for developers partnering with external firms like SBI. After building its legacy with the Arkham trilogy, Rocksteady seems poised to deliver another hit. Instead, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League became a financial and critical disaster, dragging the studio down with it. Here's what's bad. The Arkham series was great. Everyone loved it. It had such a great reputation. Rocksteady had a great reputation for what they did with that series. Everybody admired that studio. And the Arkham trilogy was a game so vastly different from Suicide Squad that you can't compare the two. Why they took a single-player action-adventure game and turned it into a live service game in that same series, I don't know. You know, when you shift, when you're inside, you're inside of a franchise, right? Or I guess a universe. I guess you can do that. It's just, you can't expect the same results all the time, right? People that play an Arkham game are expecting and want to play a single player game. I know if I hear of a game from a certain, like Ark, for instance, right? When I heard Ark 2 was announced, I was like, oh, great, another survival game is going to be great with dinosaurs and blah, 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 blah. And then I heard it was going to be kind of like a Souls-like game. I'm like, whoa, hold on, back up, bro. I don't want that. Not from Ark. That's not Ark. Why would you change the game so fundamentally, but keep the name the same or keep, within the same universe? Suicide Squad should have been something that existed completely outside of the Arkham trilogy. Rocksteady still could have done it, but why tie it into that? They actually, like it says, it tarnished the reputation of that series. The game's failure not only resulted in Rocksteady's layoffs, but also affected Warner Brothers Games Montreal, which reportedly cut 99 jobs in December. Many of these positions were dedicated to supporting Rocksteady's post-launch content for Suicide Squad. While Rocksteady's employees face career uncertainty, SBI continues to secure contracts seemingly impervious to the industry's consequences. The firm's abilities to weather these failures without repercussions raises serious concerns about accountability in game development. As Rocksteady struggles to recover following these layoffs, the question remains, will studios continue to rely on firms like Sweet Baby Inc., or will this latest fiasco prompt a reckoning in the industry? For now, the once mighty Rocksteady serves as a grim reminder of what happens when poor collaboration meets poor execution. What do you guys think? Do you think studios are going to continue to work with them or not? I mean, we've got to hit a point now where studios are starting to recognize what's going on here, and they hear that name and they go, ugh. I'm sure there's still a lot of people that are skeptical, a lot of people that are believers out there. A lot of ideologues are like, no, that's not it. That's, it was something else. There's always people that are going to give you 100 different excuses as to why a game failed, when DEI was certainly a huge factor in it. Now, a lot of these games, I will admit, DEI wasn't the only reason it failed, Suicide Squad, but it didn't help it. It didn't make it better, and it did contribute to its failure. I will give it that. Wasn't the sole factor, but it did help. And when people hear of a company like SBI being involved in a game, especially now that we are aware that these companies exist and what they're doing and what they're injecting into games, we back away from them. I do, and many other players do. It's just something that we do now. We don't want to give them our money. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.